U.S. national team wasn't scoring many goals, and style points don't count. Then in Foxborough, they detonated the 7-goal barrage that turned around their semifinal qualifying round. So far in the final round, they have done it with defense, with keepers Keller and Friedel allowing just 1 goal in 4 qualifying games. By far the best in the group to take the U.S. to the top. But the Guns are still firing blanks. They load new ammo tonight. Massachusetts, where the offense came alive last year. The United States hopes to get it going tonight against Trinidad and Tobago in a final round World Cup qualifier. 6 teams have made it this far. 3 will go on to the World Cup of 2002 in Korea and Japan from this region. The United States still in first, still undefeated, 3-0-1. Costa Rica tonight plays Jamaica, and Honduras takes on Mexico. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Ty Keogh, I'm Jack Edwards. The United States has not scored a goal since Clint Mathis and Josh Wolf went down with injuries, and Coach Bruce Arena is making some changes at the front.
Well, Bruce Arena is putting the experience of Brian McBride and Joe Max Moore onto his bench. Instead, he's going to his 3rd set of front runners, Jovan Kirovski and Ante Razov, in their limited minutes against Jamaica on Saturday. Looked very dangerous with sharp off-the-ball running. Here, Kirovski got free on the right side, but this cross to Razov in the closing minutes almost stole 3 points for the USA down in Kingston.
The captain, Claudio Reyna, has been playing great ball of late, making everyone around him more dangerous.
Claudio Reyna opens up the field for the United States as the playmaker, as the man with the armband, the leadership, and the player who makes all the players around him better. He cleans up all of those touches and keeps the attack going.
The U.S. is counting on its defense for another great game. 7 shutouts in the last 8 World Cup qualifiers for the U.S., and Casey Keller has 4 of them. It's the U.S. and Trinidad and Tobago. We're back in a flash.
Are you looking for a game beyond your own driveway this summer? Don't miss your chance to jam with the best at the 2001 Gus Macker Tournament. This is Clay Hall of News Center on ABC 6 and Fox 28. Take it to the hoop for the best 3-on-3 basketball in Columbus at Franklin Park, July 14th and 15th. For all the slamming and jamming details, call Columbus Recreation and Parks at 645-5929. Join News Center and Time Warner Communications at the Gus Macker 3-on-3.
Time Warner Communications and Roadrunner High Speed Online presents the 2001 Running and Racing Series, featuring a year-long program of health and fitness events in Central Ohio, including our Summer Triathlon and Duathlon Series. Mark these dates on your calendar. June 10th, it's the Outer Limits Triathlon and Duathlon. June 24th, the Wendy's International Triathlon and Duathlon. For more information, contact UltraFit USA at 614-481-9077. We'll see you at the races.
Play the Powerade Under the Cap game, where you have a 1 in 6 chance to win. Plus, collect specially marked Powerade caps, then watch the 6 p.m. Sports Center on June 24th to see if you won one of 2.
Your car's engine that could actually improve your gas mileage. What a special potion that would be. And what if that same liquid gold also protected your engine, like a mother protects her young? Well, wake up and pour the Haviland, because you're not dreaming. New Haviland motor oil, unsurpassed protection, and now, tests show, improved gas mileage. Haviland, something to think about this summer.
Why do Hershey's Kisses love to perform? Because the crowd just eats them up. Little Hershey's Kisses, big chocolate taste.
The Chevy Venture Warner Brothers edition with a fully integrated entertainment center. You can count on a remarkably quiet ride. Chevy Venture. We'll be there.
Mounds and Almond Joy, because everybody needs a 5-minute vacation.
Tonight's World Cup qualifying match is brought to you by Texaco and Haviland, proud sponsors of U.S. Soccer. Haviland, add more life to your car. By Phillips Electronics, we're making the soccer fan experience even better. Phillips Electronics, getting better all the time. And by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer, this Bud's for you.
And welcome back to Foxborough, Massachusetts. I'm Rob Stone. The two lineup changes up top, not the only lineup alterations for Bruce Arena's squad this evening. Eddie Pope will start in place of Carlos Hermosa, and this was a change that Bruce actually made a few weeks back in an attempt to get Eddie back into the national team picture and to get a bigger body in the box. Now, tonight's game, not the only thing on Eddie's mind. He and his wife, Karina, are expecting their first child. The due date, today. No contractions yet, but the cell phone is waiting by. Now, guys, they know it's going to be a boy. Get a load of the name. Emilio Fabrizio Pope. Is that a great soccer name or what?
Rob, I think we'll just refer to him as Pope when he makes it into the Avaya Communications starting lineup.
Sounds like a goal scorer, actually, but the USA again in a 4-4-2. And number 8, Ernie Stewart's experience attacking out of midfield, being the conduit to get into the attack. Good service to Razov and Karofsky up front. Stewart himself has scored 5 goals in this round of qualifying for the 2002 World Cup.
For Trinidad and Tobago, a must-win, and Clayton Ince gets the call in goal.
And a 3-5-2 for Trinidad and Tobago, a change from what they've done in the past. And of course, number 19, Dwight York of Manchester United fame, a world-class striker, and he'll rely on his captain, Russell Latifi, for service.
It was a very hot and humid day in New England, but the temperature is dropping rapidly. It's down to 84 degrees after being in the middle to upper 90s this afternoon. The forecast is for thunderstorms, but supposedly they're still a couple hours away. The breeze, as you see, is picking up. Trinidad and Tobago will be wearing red with black and white trim. The United States in the traditional all white. And you see that TNT has a lot of supporters here. A disappointing 4-2 loss to Honduras on Saturday, leaving Trinidad and Tobago last in the group. No wins, 3 losses, and a tie. It is a must-win situation. The refereeing crew is from the United Arab Emirates. Ali Bousjaim is in the center of the field.
Jack, therein lies the danger for the United States, playing a team, Trinidad and Tobago, that is absolutely desperate for 3 points to get back into the running for that 3rd and final spot in the World Cup 2002, Japan-Korea.
The game is on. Ansil Elcock wearing the white shoes. They'll be easy to spot tonight. Claudio Reyna going long down the right side for Jovan Karofsky. Karofsky working against the 6'7" Dennis Lawrence, who will be a difficult man to get around tonight. Tony Sane takes the throw in for the United States. This is Armas. Cherundolo moving on the right side. A hesitation move. He brings it back out to the perimeter. Sane mistraps the ball, has to chase it. Connecticut all over him. Finds Cherundolo. Cherundolo already has shown the willingness to push forward from his right back position. Agus punches the ball down the left side for Ernie Stewart, who will be in the attacking mid.
A crossfield pass. A somewhat dangerous one, although it was at the halfway stripe.
Regie back to Agus. He drills it long for Razov. Running onto the ball. Ante Razov scores in the 2nd minute.
Possibly an offside call here. The ball being played long out of the back. There is a player on the U.S. team in an offside position, but not involved in the play. You see here Razov then able to run under the ball, and with a perfect finish with the left foot, which is his preferred striking instrument. An excellent ball. And a clinical finish by Ante Razov. The ball out of the back. Looked like Chris Armas way back there on the left side.
Stern John playing it back to Latapi. He drills it left side looking for Brent Rahim. Cherundolo skies up and knocks the ball out of bounds. The United States getting the goal from Ante Razov in the 2nd minute on Jeff Agus' brilliant feed out of the back. Agus saw the seam appear, and Razov, with the heart of a sniper, raced right through and knocked it home. Here's a long ball down the left side. Again for Razov with Karofsky going middle. Drills it into the box, and it is knocked out of there. Lawrence coming across using his great reach to give up a corner. The United States in the first 3 minutes with a goal and a great chance.
The goal by Razov, the assist to Jeff Agus with his signature left foot. About a 50-yard pass over the top of the Trinidad and Tobago defense. They're playing with only 3 backs, and it cost them there.
Claudio Reyna's corner. The in-swinger flicked on by Sonic. It comes outside the box. Rahim against Stewart. Stewart goes over the top to win the 50-50 ball. Latapi against Reyna. Reyna gets a hand in and is called for the hold. Great situation for Claudio Reyna and the U.S. to be in, getting off the schneid so quickly. And for Ante Razov, talk about a dream situation for a forward. Your national team calls upon you in an offensive slump. You bury one on your first touch of the game. That's how you win a job.
Nearly as importantly, Jack, the timing of his run, perfect. He was well onside when Jeff Agus pumped that ball over the top. The other U.S. player probably was Karofsky, not involved in the play. The passive offside rule keeping him out of that call. The correct call made. Razov, the scorer, not in the offside position.
We'll have to double check this, but I believe that Razov's goal is the fastest goal to the start of a game that we have seen in the final round of qualifying in CONCACAF this time around, trying to qualify for the 2002 World Cup. Here's a ball on, and Agus knocks it out of the deadly reach of Dwight York.
Agus there just in time, covering well, as it was a good little ball played into space here for the run of Dwight York. And York was probably slightly offside. The flag did not go up. It would have counted.
Latapi to take the corner. Captain's out, swinger. Karofsky. Elcock there for Trinidad and Tobago. Cherundolo on his back. Hard ball for Rahim. He grabs Karofsky and is called for the foul. Tony Sonic. Reyna. Reggie on a long overlap left side. The U.S. didn't see him quite in time. Latapi loses to Razov. Armas comes across midfield. Rahim on a nice tackle wins the ball. York can't reach out and stab it, and this will roll out over the sideline.
Jack, the U.S. plan was to step up the pressure in the first 15 minutes, and Bruce Arena knows he has some attacking weapons out there. That's why he made the changes up front. But he also knew that he didn't want to overcommit looking for that goal, but now he's got it.
Stewart is offside, and it will come back.
Clearly offside.
Last night, Bruce Arena told us that one of the reasons he was making the change and going to Razov and Karofsky up front was that they were just sharper than McBride and Joe Max Moore, both of whom have experienced injuries in the early part of this year. Can't be much sharper than Razov was receiving Agus' pass and burying it. Rahim knocks it down. Elcock forward. York bringing it back. Dwight York, a familiar name to soccer fans. He plays for the dynasty Manchester United. Karofsky trying to run onto it, and it's an easy stop for Clayton Ince.
Jack, what is absolutely awesome is for the United States to display the kind of depth in terms of front runners, attacking goal-minded players. When you think about Clint Mathis and Josh Wolf, both out with injury, and putting Joe Max Moore, your second all-time leading scorer, on the bench, Brian McBride on the bench, the threat that he is in the air, and still be able to produce an attack very early in this game that resulted in a goal.
This is a great venue for the United States. 5-0-3 all-time in all games here. 3 World Cup qualifiers, 2 wins and a tie. Neither the men nor the women ever have lost a full international game at Foxborough Stadium. Dwight York has Rahim on the far side, decides to bring it back middle. Carrington way wild.
Yeah, the worst possible start for Trinidad and Tobago, a team whose confidence has been shattered. A 4-2 loss at home against Honduras this past Saturday. They were hoping to rebound from that, but here they're already looking at a deficit.
Casey Keller again getting the start for the United States in goal. Brad Friedel itching to get in there, and Bruce Arena says that is a coach's dream and a player's nightmare to have two keepers of that quality. Obviously, they both want to play. There's only space for one, but they're both going to see action as this final round of qualifying continues.
Keller was absolutely flawless and the player of the game on Saturday against Jamaica. Friedel waits his turn, perhaps, at Mexico City on July 1.
We asked Bruce Arena point blank about that. He said he has not made a decision. Sane to make the throw. Stewart showing in the box. All the way in for Razov. It deflects through to Reyna. Touches it for Stewart. Back to Armas. Chips it. Onside. Sane can't run onto that one. The field is mostly sand in composition. There is some loam that's mixed in. It's a hard but very true surface. It's going to run very fast tonight. You saw how that ball rebounded right out of bounds on Sane.
Jack, this Trinidad and Tobago team possesses so many attacking offensive weapons, but they've had so much trouble defending. They've given up 9 goals before tonight, the most in the entire group in this final round of World Cup qualifying for CONCACAF, and that has been their Achilles heel, because this is a team that actually won their group in the first round of qualifying, even finishing ahead of Mexico. So they've fallen apart defensively in this round, and that's what's cost them overall, and that's what's cost them in this game.
Has to be very disheartening to be a team that knows it has to win tonight. Can't just come away with 1 point on the road. Has to win against the unbeaten U.S. and to go down the second minute of the game. Lawrence knocks the ball right onto Sane's foot, trying to beat Ansil. Elcock still has it. Sane brings it back. Reyna with a little bit of room, stops the ball, accelerates into the box. The shot deflects and goes wide. It'll be a corner for the United States. Claudio Reyna is showing a little change of pace and winning a corner for the Americans.
Well, the United States again able to force the issue. Tony Sane, with his muscle, wins this ball in the corner off of Ansil Elcock, who he knows well from the Columbus Crew and those wars they used to have with DC United. And here's the shot by Reyna, blocked off of his foot to set up more attacking pressure for the United States.
An example of how aware Reyna is. He saw the little swerve on the run by Razov. He knew there was going to be a little space in the wake. Agus is in. Swinger comes all the way across to Elcock's head. John carries free. Banging along with Eddie Pope along the sideline. It'll be a throw into the U.S.
That's the matchup that Bruce Arena was looking for. Eddie Pope on Stern John.
Razov volleys the cross into the box. And again, TNT clears it high and wide. Marvin Andrews scored the first goal of this 2002 World Cup qualifying worldwide. Tobago had to go through the preliminary rounds, as you were explaining, Ty.
They were undefeated until the last game that didn't matter in the standings.
A team of great merit that just has had terrible chemistry problems here in the final round.
There's a good sign there. Dwight York having to drop deep into midfield to try and get his foot on the ball for Trinidad and Tobago.
Lanape sees Reyna in his face and comes back.
The farther Dwight York is from your goal, the better off you are.
York, a prolific scorer, has played 10 World Cup qualifiers, has 5 goals. Stern John is offside by a couple of steps here in the 11th minute.
Stern John, familiar to USA fans in the MLS, the top scorer in '98 for the Columbus Crew and league-wide as well. Here clearly offside, just a half a step behind Jeff Agus. Stern John when the ball was played.
Foul ruled against the United States here, and Trinidad and Tobago will try to reform the attack. Lanape going long for York against Pope. Pope right on him. Sharundle coming over to help out. It comes off of Pope to Raheem. Armas there, and he tries to blow a hole in the ball high and wide. Good hustle by Sane. Keeps it alive. Stewart going long, and it's a beautiful pass from Sane. He's in alone. Ernie Stewart's volley and a save by Ince, and Stewart would love that ball back. Karofsky was so open in the middle of the field, he could have tied his shoes and still knocked it home.
Well, Ernie Stewart completely miscued on a couple of fronts. Number one, he really thought he could lob the keeper Ince, but he didn't get nearly enough air underneath it. On top of that, he had an open Jovan Karofsky. Karofsky may have been offside when this ball was played, but he ends up being not a part of the play because it's Ernie Stewart who runs under the ball.
I think he was on. It was awfully close, and if he's even, he is on, so hard to tell from that angle exactly.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered had Stewart put the ball straight in. And it may not have mattered even if Stewart had passed it over to Karofsky because it's another play. It's up to the referee's judgment to say whether it's part of the same play or a new play.
Eve steals the ball in midfield. Now Razov breaks it up, and it comes back to Regis. Karofsky outside of the foot. Regis, full acceleration, catches it on the instep. Tries to go for the cross and shanks it well out of bounds. Sane was crashing to the far post.
Well, these teams both playing on only 3 days rest. And you wonder if it might take a few minutes for them to really get their legs under them. They both played this past Saturday. USA, of course, 0-0 at Jamaica. And a home loss for Trinidad and Tobago to Honduras.
U.S. with a lot of pressure in the forward third of the field. Not much room for Trinidad and Tobago to get some development going. Saunders, Andrews, Angus Eve, a fire plug of a player. York with his back to goal has to play it off to Eve. Not a very good service, and Karofsky picks it up coming back to the ball, playing conscientious defense. Now Regis doesn't see anything there, so he waits. The U.S. good possession here. Reyna turns it, and there's plenty of space for Chirundolo.
Well, there's Reyna. We talked about it at the top of the show. His ability to open up the field, spread the field for his team.
Hard tackle by Raheem, and Sane maintains the ball, but now loses. York turns. He's got a little bit of space. Tries to play the long ball to Stern John. Deflects it. Agus going after it. Turns it away from John. John tackles the ball back. Agus goes down. What a battle this is between these two, and Agus wins it.
Well, Jeff Agus, whether he's been paired with Carlos Llamosa or Eddie Pope in this round of qualifying, he's gotten the job done. The USA, in their last 8 World Cup qualifiers, have only given up 1 goal. Jeff Agus, a large part of that success at the back for the USA, and we see him in the matchup with Stern John. John, such a powerful player. Agus gets the body position on him, able to take the hit, regain his balance, and hold off Stern John.
Chris Armas, who leads all U.S. players in minutes in 2001. Angus Eve taking it away. Now here comes Raheem on a left side run. Pope disrupts York in the middle of the field. Armas going in hard. Trinidad and Tobago will restart the attack.
There's Chris Armas, the 2000 Player of the Year for this squad. But Eddie Pope has been draped on Dwight York, has won every 50-50 battle so far. And Eddie Pope, a guy that's trying to win his job back in many respects. Although Bruce Arena has so much respect for both Eddie Pope and Carlos Llamosa's defending abilities, he wants to keep them both going strong and both competing for that position.
In the first 15 minutes, Bruce Arena's guys looked as if they had most of the control of the match. Trinidad and Tobago, in the last couple of minutes, has begun to show some possession. York front running along with Stern John. Reyna. Karofsky. Reyna goes corner. Karofsky touches it ahead. Reyna comes back to the ball nicely. Wins it out of the thicket against Andrews. Razov finds Stewart with some space in front of him. Stewart directing traffic. Sane. Chirundolo has to be careful. Almost ran offside toward the corner, but held it up. Stewart back to Armas. Chirundolo. Sane. Reyna. Stewart lays it off for Razov. His drive goes over the top, and that's Ante Razov. If you give him a little bit of space, anywhere 30 yards in, he's going to let it fire.
Well, Jack, the finish left something to be desired, but the United States put together about 8 or 9 passes to set up this scoring chance. They'd already put together 3 or 4 on the right side before it came to this. And they worked it all the way around, and it's cool under possession. They can afford to do this because they already have the 1-0 lead. Eventually, the ball played into Razov. Razov missing the target by a large margin.
A forward-thinking ball for Reyna. Reyna called for a push-off against Dennis Lawrence. And Trinidad and Tobago will start it out again. Stern John against Pope. Stern John is going to be sick of Eddie Pope by halftime. Raheem out wide for Ansil Elcock. Stern John one touch ahead for Dwight York. Agus steps in and knocks it free. Elcock punching it back in there. York drops it off. Angus Eve into the box. Raheem on the far side, hard bounce, and it comes up high over the top. Raheem called for pushing off against Steve Cherundolo. Cherundolo just 22 years old and doing a fine job at right back.
Well, the United States, again, will have to defend very intelligently. Everybody knows about Dwight York. Everybody knows about Stern John. But also Russell Lotterpe, an old pro. He's been over in England playing professionally for nearly a decade. A player who can, if he links up with both York and Stern John, start to open up some spaces in the U.S. defense.
Keller serves it all the way forward to Karofsky. Karofsky in the arc. Drills it in for him. Karofsky knocks it down. It's a handball. Turns, fires. It's a save by Ince, but well before that, Ali Bousjaim, the referee, called Karofsky for the handball. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hershey's Syrup.
This ball played into Karofsky from Razov, dropped in nicely. It's a little bit behind Karofsky, and it did make contact just under his elbow. Handball nullifies that opportunity.
There were back-to-back rock concerts by the Dave Matthews Band here this past weekend, and with just 3 days to go between the second concert and this game, there's quite a bit of concern about the condition of the field. But the condition of the field is remarkable. The grounds crew here has done a marvelous job, especially considering there were 40,000 people here and there was 5 inches of rain. The field really is playing well. It always plays hard in New England, especially when it's cut short, as it is tonight. Stewart with the steal. He's got a breakaway. He's also got Roz off the shot. Scores! Ernie Stewart hits 2-zip.
The opportunist, the attacking midfielder, pouncing on this mistake in the center and heart of the Trinidad and Tobago defense. And you feel bad for Clayton Ince because this ball plays so well. He nearly reaches it. You can't put it any farther in the corner than Ernie Stewart did right here. And the sign of a good team is a team that punishes mistakes. The USA punishing Trinidad and Tobago for giving up the ball near their own goal. Stewart walked in, found the corner, puts the USA up 2-0.
History for Ernie Stewart, the 6th World Cup qualifying goal of his career. It ties the record, the all-time American career record set by Willie Roy from 1966 through 1974. Ernie Stewart tied for the all-time lead in goal scoring in World Cup qualifiers for the U.S. 2-zip and a little bit of comfort here, and Agus knocks it out of bounds.
Good old Willie Roy, also famed coach of the Chicago Sting, NASL champions in the early 80s.
This game could be the death knell for Trinidad and Tobago. Some people already have written off this team. A program reminder, a couple of MLS games coming up on Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. It's the LA Galaxy with Luis Hernandez against the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. On ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's the Columbus Crew against the Dallas Burn. MLS Soccer Saturdays on ESPN and ESPN2 all summer long. Well, it is just what the doctor ordered in Foxborough. This was the venue at which the U.S. beat Barbados 7-zip last August after its offense had stalled, and there was some question as to whether the U.S. even would be able to advance to the final round of qualifying. But beginning with that Barbados game here in Foxborough, the U.S. went on a tear and ended up winning its semifinal group. Now it leads this final group and is off to a terrific start tonight. Regis looking long ball for Karofsky. Went one way then the other, and Ansil Elcock has the edge on this. He left it one out.
Well, Jack, the Soca Warriors appear that they were not ready for battle. giving up goals here in the first quarter of the game. In a game that is absolute live or die for them, and they have to win to stay alive, really, in this round of qualifying.
If you're just joining us across the top of the hour, alongside Ty Keogh with Rob Stone down below, and our ESPN2 crew working here at Foxborough Stadium, I'm Jack Edwards. The United States off to a brilliant start in this World Cup qualifier. Ante Razov scoring on a 50-yard pass from Jeff Agus in the 2nd minute, and then Ernie Stewart burying one in the 20th, and the U.S. has a 2-0 lead on Trinidad and Tobago. The United States off to a perfect 3-0-1 start. This marks the halfway point of the 10-game qualifying schedule. The top 3 teams from this 6-team group will advance to the World Cup of 2002 in Korea and Japan, for the first time co-hosted, and that will be taking place exactly a year from now. Trinidad and Tobago needs a massive turnaround if it wants to be part of that party. It doesn't appear that it's in the cards. Latopi, the captain, looking long. Chirundolo has the space covered against Rahim, and Keller is 16 yards off his line.
Keller electing to go with the throw, much as he did against Jamaica. He only kicked a couple of times in that match. I think the United States, particularly with this lead, would like to maintain possession coming forward out of the back, meaning more throws out of Keller, fewer long-range kicks.
U.S. changing the point of attack here. Sane, he's got Karofsky middle. Karofsky lifting his chops after being passed up for an opportunity earlier by Ernie Stewart. Now here's Reyna, runs onto it, tries to go through to Sane. Ball bounces around top of the arc. Ansil Elcock clearing it. Armas taking control near midfield. It's Regis. Karofsky gets his foot up in the face of Lawrence. That's dangerous play. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone. Rob?
Well, guys, we spoke with Bruce Arena last night. He told us, hey, we need to get more out of Ernie Stewart. The idea, get more balls to him. Well, we're comparing him with Russell Latopi, and you see Stewart's touches, obviously not as many as Latopi's, but the goal certainly makes a big difference. Latopi, most of his touches have been on the defensive field. And one other thing, the weather report, guys, lightning is in the air, and the wind is definitely starting to pick up down here. A storm is a-brewing.
All right, Rob, go to the fiberglass shaft on the umbrella. Of course, if there is vivid lightning in the area or the referee feels that the players are being endangered in any way by the weather, he can suspend play. Karofsky chests it down for Sane along the sideline. Armas doesn't get a good touch on it. A hard ball to handle, and it squirts out of bounds. Latopi against Armas. Razov lays it off, quickly developing attack here. Now Regis has a ton of space left side. Diagonal run by Razov, he's onside. Andrews recovers nicely, just in time.
But again, intelligent, well-timed runs by the United States that almost click. What I like especially is the ball being played in by the U.S., being played back out, and then being played back in again. And it's linking up very nicely from midfield to the front runners.
Latopi with a clever ball looking forward, but it comes off of Regis' deflection as he shut down the passing lane between the ball and Dwight York. Another long ball, Razov off to the races. It skips away. Lawrence trying to control, and he shields the ball. It rolls over the end line for a goal kick.
Jack, successful teams rarely play square balls. They like to play the ball into attackers. This is that run into space here by Ante Razov, and a recovery. Razov timing his run. He's not offside. A good recovery, in fact, by Marcus Andrews. Or Marvin Andrews, I should say.
Razov very sharp at the end of the season in the Spanish 2nd Division, often figuring in scoring. His value is going nowhere but up, as he is, in essence, a free agent and is able to sell his services to the highest bidder or wherever he decides he'll be happiest. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate.
Ante Razov's Spanish, always very good. He grew up in the Southern California, the L.A. area, and now he's been living in Spain, playing for Racing de Ferrol in the Spanish 2nd Division and scoring quite a few goals there, Jack, as you were talking about. His Spanish now flawless, and now more of the Castilian style.
First style points do count. Through 11 games of World Cup qualifying, including the semifinal round of last year, Ernie Stewart with 6 goals. Ante Razov, 3. Clint Mathis, who is about to have his knee reconstructed surgically. Josh Wolf, who's still out with stress fracture in his foot. Brian McBride and Joe Maxmore both available on the bench.
It's nice to have that goal-scoring power waiting in reserve. McBride with his biting the fingernails, maybe, hoping to get in. Joe Maxmore next to Brad Friedel on the near right side.
That's probably the strongest bench that there's ever been for the United States in a full international. Between 3 guys alone, Joe Maxmore, McBride, and Jones, they account for 273 international appearances and 50 goals. That's what's on the bench. And the U.S. is leading Trinidad and Tobago 2-0. Also, Carlos Yamosa on the bench. A nice man to have in reserve. John plays it off. York drills it, and a save by Keller. Excellent positioning by Casey Keller. You see how quickly Dwight York can get off a shot. Trundolo, Karofsky knocked down from behind on Lawrence's foul, and the U.S. will restart.
Well, Keller, again, so sure of himself positionally as well as technically. Not a difficult challenger, even though it's Dwight York, a world-class forward. Keller makes easy work of it.
I don't know if there is a stronger 1-2 goalkeeping tandem in the world than that which the United States enjoys. The keepers may be the only ones who don't enjoy it.
Well, Keller also making his cash in the Spanish professional leagues in the first division. Keller playing for Rayo Vallecano in Madrid.
Angus Eve wins the battle against Ernie Stewart, but there's Sane stepping in. Sane is disrupted marvelously in the middle third of the field tonight. He's a big man who is very mobile and has very good skills. Reina settles it down for Armas, giving Armas the ball in a position where he can go head up and find a dangerous pass.
But right through midfield, the USA making excellent angles to spread the ball around.
Razov against Elcock. Razov just wide. Oh, he wants it back. This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet.
I'm just waiting to see Ante Razov get a chance to line up a free kick. How about the one he just absolutely hammered at Jamaica on Saturday? And then we saw him again practicing those free kicks yesterday here in Foxborough. But a good ball by Reggie, dropped in over the top of the Trinidad and Tobago defenders, putting them under pressure. A little shove there, I think, that Razov got away with and almost punished that mistake by Trinidad and Tobago, letting the ball bounce in their box.
Eddie Pope does not get away with a shove in midfield against Stern John. And Trinidad and Tobago will restart. It is the captain, Lotopy. Decides to chip it straight forward for York, coming back away from the arc. Raheem. Andrews with Stewart right on him. A little 1-2 with Angus Eve. Good speed by Andrews. Gets away from Armas. Hard cross goes way past York's reach. That's how Trinidad and Tobago is going to develop things, but the U.S. closes so quickly that the time evaporates.
Well, not only that, in the penalty area, the target of that cross, not only were the U.S. defenders in place, but Claudio Reyna and Chris Armas and even Ernie Stewart were back in there helping.
242-minute shutout streak for the United States in World Cup qualifying. The only goal they have given up in this qualifying round, this final round of qualifying, was a laser beam from 35 yards against Honduras, the kind of goal that you just say, you know what? That's a world-class shot. Nobody's going to stop that kind of ball.
That goalkeeper hasn't been born yet that could stop that shot.
Looping ball again, looking for York. Pope goes up, Reggie, a nice ball as Razov finds it. He's got Karofsky. High bounce on Lawrence. It comes away from him. Karofsky controls. Goes across the field. Sane racing upfield. Elcock volleys clear to midfield. Trundolo knocked down. Play on. Lotopy has Dwight York with the switch. York gets it stuck in his feet, and Agus touches it over to Keller. York's right on his back. Keller plays it smartly to Reggie.
A lack of coordination there between Lotopy and Dwight York. It cost them. Looked like York was about to take off on a run just as Lotopy played the ball where he had been rather than where he was going.
Sane with Trundolo going corner. All the way across for a wide open Stewart. Has the back up on the ball. Chests it down into the box. Tees up the volley and Ince makes the save.
Karofsky at the back post hoping to get that ball. Actually, Razov at the back post. Karofsky had made the near post run.
The U.S. is getting its chances.
Dwight York here used to having a different sort of supporting cast. When you think about all the great goals that he scored with Manchester United, think David Beckham, think Giggs, Roy Keane. Some boys really, and Andy Cole. What a partnership York has had with Andy Cole over the years.
Brett Rahim broken up by Armas. Latopi against Reyna. Sane helps out. Latopi has to bring it back. Andrews knocks it back hard for Lawrence. Karofsky with the pressure. Lawrence has played a couple of shaky balls tonight. Andrews to Latopi, and he has to play it backward for Elcock. Carrington. Rahim. Lawrence. Stewart intercepts a diagonal pass. There's Karofsky. He's got a breakaway. Can't quite get to the ball. Keeper's way out. Sane, can he chip from 40? No, he comes square. Ton of time for Reyna. Claudio Reyna dribbles a little too far out. Comes to Razov, deflects off his legs. And Andrews says the heck with it. We'll give up the corner and get reorganized.
Yeah, complete confusion by the Trinidad and Tobago defenders. Gaping holes in their back line. Ernie Stewart's ball lacked a little bit of quality, or Karofsky would have walked in by himself.
Bad luck for Karofsky, as that ball just skipped off the hard turf. He couldn't quite catch up to it. He wanted a ball earlier tonight from Ernie Stewart. Still hungry, determined to get one. Long corner, it's going to hook out. A program reminder at the beginning. On the 25th of June, you've waited for it. You can't live without it. Rob Stone is back with MLS Extra Time. It's the season premiere, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific Time. That Monday and every Monday throughout the summer on ESPN2. In-depth analysis in every goal from around the week in Major League Soccer. Cherundolo looks long for Razov. He was onside when the ball was played. And again, Lawrence uses his reach. A man 6 feet 7 inches tall and needed every bit of leg to get to that ball. Sane knocks it down. Cherundolo going forward fearlessly, trips over Elcock. Elcock got a piece of the ball. Back passes to Ince. Ince with pressure from Stewart. Has to play it across. This portion of the match brought to you by Tanaka.
Jack, watching the off-the-ball running of Karofsky and Razov. Impeccable in their timing. They're leaving just after the ball is played.
Reggie with a nice head ball to get inside Lawrence. Lawrence uses his body to get back on an angle, but gives up a free kick. This could be a dart from Razov. This could be a Reyna serve. Many possibilities created for the U.S. on a free kick about 28 yards from the near side post.
Right now, Karofsky and Stewart discussing it. Reyna coming in.
Discussions between world-class players, Ty. Is it just I want it?
No, I think it's the angle, the distance, you know, whose personal skills match the situation the best. I think Karofsky's right foot might be where it's coming from here.
Karofsky and Stewart both close to the ball. Jaim has marked off the 10 yards. Stewart stops it for Karofsky to drive right smack into the wall. Lawrence took it in the face. Cherundolo for Razov down the right wing. Elcock over there defensively. Razov hammers it low for Reyna, sells the dummy. It comes through to Stewart. Back to Armas at the perimeter. Cherundolo, who for all intents and purposes is playing a midfield position. Cherundolo goes to the corner. Sane slicing through, gets it back from Armas. Sane pops it up at the 18. It's offside. Razov just a half a step behind the defense. And the U.S. having a lot of chances and maybe a little bit of a hair trigger there.
Well, it's a pretty strong approach play, though. Tony Sane working with Claudio Reyna after Chris Armas had swung the ball out to the right side.
Their eyes are getting as big as pie plates because they're seeing the seams develop. Trinidad and Tobago had to travel a little bit farther. Had about an hour less rest than the U.S. did Both teams played on Saturday. The U.S. tying at Jamaica 0-0. Trinidad and Tobago losing at home to Honduras 4-2.
Good hustle by Chris Armas coming back after Reyna uncharacteristically gave the ball away in midfield. It's good to have Chris Armas backing you up even when you make a mistake, or especially when you make a mistake.
Little 1-2. No, Karofsky turns it inside off Sané's pass. Elcock going down. Karofsky draws it back. Now his pass miscommunication as Cherundolo was going on a forward run. Now Pope gives the ball away to Saunders. Bill Holt, Brent Rahim playing centrally now after starting on the left side. Angus Eve into the center circle. Stewart chasing hard. This portion of the match is brought to you by Haviland. Latapi for Dwight York. Latapi. Through ball for Elcock on the overlap. He's onside. Closing against Keller. Taken down in the box. No call. They play on. Corner kick as it rolled off from Keller.
Elcock making a very strong run and also a well-timed run on that far side. We're going to have a look here to see whether there was a penalty kick call that may have been missed. The United States fortunate in Jamaica on a couple of very close calls.
Russell Latapi's corner. TNT desperate for one. It goes through Keller, loose in the 6-yard box. A foul called, a push against Trinidad and Tobago as Pope and Keller both went down.
Stern John in the middle of that. Havoc in front of Casey Keller's goal. Keller took a pretty strong hit. Russell Latapi sending the in-swinger into a very congested 6-yard box. Keller comes out for it. It's backed into a little bit by Andrews. A lot of shoving going on by both teams. You know, fighting for the position under that high ball, but Keller gets the call.
About to enter the 45th minute. The last thing Bruce Arena wants to see is Trinidad and Tobago get a little spark, a little adrenaline before they go into the room at halftime. The United States has, for most of this half, dominated play, had many opportunities. It could be more than just 2-0. The U.S. has passed up a couple of chances.
Not only the chances, Jack, but they've dictated much of the pace of the game, holding possession through midfield.
Here's Razov again on one of those diagonal runs. He backheels it for Reyna, tips it over his man at the 18. Can't settle the ball, and Saunders knocks it back to his keeper. The U.S. appealing for an indirect kick because that ball clearly was softly played back with the foot, but the referee ruled it an emergency.
Yeah, but it was designed as a back pass, which is why the rule exists.
Should have been an indirect for the U.S. in many people's eyes. On the other hand, many Trinidad and Tobago fans say there should have been a penalty kick previously at the other end. Latapi. Agus on a foul 22 yards from goal against Stern John. Great free kick opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago here. The U.S. will have to set up a wall.
Stern John very powerful in the air. Eddie Pope will be matched up with him if Stern John actually moves towards that back post, which I believe he will. There he goes. Pope now matched up with Stern John.
Dwight York and Latapi are over the ball. It doesn't look as if the U.S. is giving 10 there. Boussaïm backs up and says, "Get back here, men in white." And the U.S. begrudgingly gives the ground. Boussaïm barking at the Americans. U.S. York's drive over the top. It's a goal kick. Let's take a look at the 2 U.S. goals so far tonight.
Well, a very quick start for the United States. In only the 2nd minute, Jeff Agus pumps the ball over the top of the Trinidad and Tobago defense. And Razov makes no mistake driving the ball low towards the far post. Then the steal by Ernie Stewart. And a clinical finish low in the corner out of Clayton Ince's reach.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Avaya Communication. I am not clear on Boussaïm's call here, but the U.S. will have a throw. A reminder coming up on the Allstate halftime report during this World Cup qualifier. Report from the Under-20 World Championships going on in Argentina. The U.S. off to a strong start, at least in today's game. We'll catch up on the result there. An analysis of the U.S. offense. That's coming your way on the Allstate halftime report. Here's Cherundolo on the right side, has Sané. against Elcock. Sane, a nice move to the baseline, drives it across the box. Razov first times it into the middle, and Rahim clears it out of danger for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, when that cross by Razov came in from the left side, not only is Karofsky in there, but Ernie Stewart is in there, Claudio Reyna was in there, and way at the back post, Tony Sane. So the United States, again, appearing with numbers, attacking-wise, in Trinidad and Tobago's penalty area.
Stewart creating an opportunity, forcing a throw-in. Now Reggie into the box for Sane. A big target comes all the way through to Ince. He'll fire it out to midfield. York, and Agus again steals the ball.
Jack York miscued on his last free kick attempt.
Oh, Reyna just got hammered in midfield. We're going to see a yellow card come out on Brent Rahim. This in the 43rd minute. The captain is down for the U.S.
Reyna trying to hold possession, moving back towards his own goal, hesitates, and two players actually, Stern John as well as Brent Rahim, coming in for the late hit. Rahim gets the yellow card for the dangerous challenge from behind.
And Rahim got one also against Honduras. And picking up 2 yellow cards at any point in this final round of World Cup qualifying means that Rahim must sit out the next game that Trinidad and Tobago has, that one against Jamaica on the 30th of June. Doorstep opportunity for Reyna, and he can't quite find the handle to knock it home and make it 3-0.
Well, the United States with dangerous service, dangerous crossing from both sides. Before it was Razov on the left. This time out on the right side, Steve Cherundolo, the right back, gets it all the way into Reyna, and he's disappointed in his first touch because Reyna, probably the most skillful player in terms of first touch on the U.S. squad, let that one get away.
Reggie back to Agus, who has been brilliant in the first half. York has not done very much, and that's because of the work of Pope and Agus, the central defenders for the United States. Agus also has an assist, feeding the ball forward to Razov in the 2nd minute. There's Agus again on the sideline against Stern John. Now this is Eve into space, and a save by Keller off the volley. Angus Eve getting off a blast to the far post, and Keller blocking it out with the right glove.
Folks, mark that save. That's a game-changing save. At this point of the first half, the United States, with all the psychological momentum, if they give up that goal, it changes the game entirely.
Elcock to take the corner. All the way across the middle, and Agus heads it up and out. John. Into the box to York, gets a 1-2, back from Rahim, saves it at the end line, bangs into Cherundolo, who goes down. Agus picks it up, gets run over from behind by Saunders, and that's a foul against Saunders. As we enter stoppage time, there will be 2 minutes of time added at the discretion of the officials.
Casey Keller, among the best line goalkeepers in the world. His reflexes incredible. Angus Eve drills this ball right past Eddie Pope, so Keller doesn't have a great look at it. It's not a tremendous angle, but perfect positioning, lightning quick reflexes. Just gets a couple fingers to it to keep it out of the goal, and that's what you expect from Casey Keller.
Razov can't keep it inbounds. Trinidad and Tobago will have a throw-in at the midline.
Keller has so much confidence in his reflexes. Many keepers would have crept farther to that near post, worried about getting beaten at that near post. Jorge Campos might have been anywhere in the penalty area.
Reyna bangs it around off a couple of bodies. Angus Eve. And now it's John along the sideline. Throws an elbow up on Reyna, and Stern John's going to get a talking to from Bushaim. About a minute to go in stoppage time of the first half. Goals by the U.S. Razov in the 2nd minute, Stewart in the 20th. Many other opportunities. Lotopi from 35 into the box. Knocked down, the volley goes over the top. Saunders letting it rip from 18, and Keller is saying, how can that ball bounce so close to my goal?
Keller doesn't want to face this onslaught in the closing seconds. He's done everything necessary to keep it a shutout. And that ball, Keller would not have reached that ball. It only cleared the crossbar by about 5 or 6 inches.
You can see the obvious talent that Trinidad and Tobago possesses. Very hard-luck final round of qualifying for this team so far. Here's a giveaway and another chance in the last seconds for Razov. His drive blocked out. Again, Andrews recovering to save the day for Trinidad and Tobago.
Marvin Andrews That was a key play. Trinidad still could make a game of this if they show some of the offensive spark we've seen in the last 5 minutes.
Reyna into the box. It's over the top of Karofsky. Inch has it.
A third goal would finish off Trinidad.
Reyna with the steal. Goes into the box. The shot. A save by Inch.
End-to-end.
It's a firing squad right now. And Inch is the target.
A moment ago was Keller.
80-yard punt. And Keller's going to have to play this out of his own 6-yard box. The first half is over in Foxborough. Jeff Vegas got it started with a beautiful pass, sending Razov in. Casey Keller with a late key save to keep the 0 on the board. And now through the first 5 final World Cup qualifiers, the U.S. has not allowed a first half goal. Carrying another lead into halftime. Ernie Stewart with the other marker. The United States undefeated in this final round of World Cup qualifying and in control here in Foxborough. The Allstate halftime report is coming up next with Rob Stone. Stay with us on ESPN2.
Customer gets through to you. So now what? Get your customers exactly where they need to go with customer relationship management from Avaya. Communication without boundaries.
You have 4
Voicemail, email, faxes. With unified communication from Avaya, put them all in one place, and the one message you need finds you. Avaya. Communication without boundaries.
What if you cause a serious accident? How much coverage should you have? Do you want lower premiums or a smaller deductible? What about rental car reimbursement? Some people say they can put a policy together in 15 minutes. I've never thought doing it fast was as important as getting it right. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough-acting Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough-acting Tinactin.
Philips CD recorder system. Burn it, play it.
What if there were a liquid you could pour right into your car's engine that could actually improve your gas mileage? What a special potion that would be. And what if that same liquid gold also protected your engine, like a mother protects her young? Well, wake up and pour the Haviland, because you're not dreaming. New Haviland motor oil, unsurpassed protection. And now, test show, improved gas mileage. Haviland, something to think about this summer.
We're here with wrestling gold medalist Rulon Gardner. You're a pretty big guy.
Yeah, and my feet take the brunt of it. That's why it's great you gave me these new extra support insoles.
It's the first insole with the expandable heel cup.
It feels good.
New Dr. Scholl's extra support insoles.
Welcome back to Foxborough, Massachusetts, and the Allstate halftime report. We're joined now by U.S. captain Claudio Reyna. 1 goal in the last 3 games, 2 in the first 45 tonight. What's been the difference offensively?
I think that first one helped us out. We started aggressive, and it was a great ball by Goose and a great finish, and we kind of built from that. We got a little sloppy at the end, and we're going to get chances. We have to get that third and put them away.
Are you guys playing that well, or is TNT that weak of an opponent tonight?
I think it's a combination. I think we're pressuring them pretty well. The defenders are doing quite well. We're working hard, and the field's a bit bumpy, so it's hard sometimes to combine. And but, yeah, I think it's a combination a little bit.
You guys get more chances than you expected?
Yeah, I think so. I thought they'd be a little tighter in the back, but credit to some of our guys. We're picking balls off, and Ernie's goal was great, just great defensive work. He picked up the ball and did great work to finish.
Claudio, we appreciate your time. Thank you. Good luck in the second half. The Allstate halftime report will continue from Foxborough. We'll have a great result from Argentina for the U.S. Under-20 national team. This is the Allstate halftime report.
Muscles ache. My mind is spent. My body is broken. Lead me to my throne.
WWF King of the Ring is in demand Sunday, June 24th. Visit kingofthering.com for more details.
This month on Time Warner.
Like Jackie Chan? Like Chris Tucker? Then you're going to love TBS Superstation July 1st. Yeah. Catch the world broadcast premiere of Rush Hour, hosted by, well, guess. They'll take you on the set of the hot new sequel, Rush Hour 2, in theaters August 3rd.
Get ready for Rush Hour. If you miss it, you are stupid.
Don't miss the world broadcast premiere of Rush Hour, July 1st.
On TBS Superstation.
Yes.
Soccer fans, get fired up for a great season of MLS action. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get over 100 matches and select playoff games. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
I've got a client, a single woman who's 59 years old. She'd planned to retire at 62. I figured out that with a combination of annuities, she could do it 3 years sooner. To give somebody an extra 3 years of freedom to do whatever they want, that's a great feeling. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
Want to make your ice cream more exciting? Pour on Hershey's chocolate syrup.
The Chevy Venture Warner Brothers edition with a fully integrated entertainment center. You can count on a remarkably quiet ride. Chevy Venture. We'll be there.
Twizzlers, play first, eat later.
Welcome back to Foxborough, Massachusetts, and the Allstate halftime report. We are halfway through tonight's World Cup qualifier between the U.S. and Trinidad and Tobago. This afternoon in Mendoza, Argentina, the U.S. Under-20 team continued playing the FIFA World Youth Championship. After falling to China on Sunday, the States responded in a huge way. 4-1 win this afternoon over Chile. The Chicago Fire's DeMarcus Beasley had two, all of them in the first half. Next up, Ukraine on Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, the ESPN family has another MLS doubleheader this Soccer Saturday. The Metro Stars at Kobe Jones' LA Galaxy, 4 p.m. on ESPN. And then Columbus at Dallas, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. If you missed those games, catch all the highlights Monday night on MLS Extra Time here on ESPN2. The Allstate halftime report. We'll be back to New England after this.
Every business revolves around its customers. Make your business revolve around every customer with a network that does just that. Communication solutions from Avaya. Communication without boundaries. Your voice network, your data network. Bring them together and see what you can do for your customers with converged networks from Avaya. Communication without boundaries.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough actin Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough actin Tinactin.
widescreen. Now you can see what you've been missing.
What if there were a liquid you could pour right into your car's engine that could actually improve your gas mileage? What a special potion that would be. And what if that same liquid gold also protected your engine, like a mother protects her young? Well, wake up and pour the Haviland, because you're not dreaming. New Haviland motor oil, unsurpassed protection. And now, test show, improved gas mileage. Haviland, something to think about this summer.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This one's for you, and you, this one's for you.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough-acting Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough-acting Tinactin.
This is the Allstate halftime report continuing from Foxborough, Massachusetts. The U.S. up 2-0 on Trinidad and Tobago. The U.S. needed to rekindle its offense. Didn't take long.
Well, in the second minute of play, Jeff Vegas' long ball away from the left back position here. And Ante Razov onside, the last defender on that line. So clearly in an onside position when the ball is played over the top. Watch this finish. Awesome marksmanship. And then Ernie Stewart just plain hustle, putting pressure on Andrews, the defender for Trinidad and Tobago, and then picking out the corner. Here, controversy. Chirundolo missing the ball, taking out Ansil Elcock. That should have been a penalty kick. And here, Casey Keller saving the day for the United States to preserve the shutout.
Angus Eve almost getting one in, but Keller again keeps it clean. The U.S. with another shutout at halftime and a 2-0 lead as we head toward the closing 45 minutes. This is the Allstate halftime report.
Oh no, I forgot Mother's Day!
Don't panic. This year, give her beautiful silk roses that last a lifetime. Forever Roses for only $19.95. Forever Roses are delivered in a florist box filled with a dozen of the finest silk roses wrapped with baby's breath and a personalized greeting card, all for just $19.95. Call today and we'll include a second dozen absolutely free. And we guarantee delivery by Mother's Day. Call now, 1-800-242-4200. That's 1-800-242-4200.
Look at Hyundai's summer sell down. You'll see a great price at the Elantra, the car Kiplinger's Personal Finance calls the best new car in its class. Look at all these standard features, including air conditioning, all for just $13,294. Now look at the freedom of America's best warranty, and it's clear. If you're looking at Civic and Corolla, you've got to check out a better offer. Test drive the Hyundai Elantra now.
Test drive a Hyundai at Dennis Hyundai, Reichert Hyundai, and Hatfield Hyundai today.
Hyundai in St. Louis, Giants and Cardinals will be a lot of big stars in that game. Bonds and Big Mac in the same ballpark.
Great action.
Catch it all from a brand new angle with ESPN's exclusive Dead Center View. Giants Cardinals Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel, 8 o'clock Sunday only on ESPN.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This one's for you, and you, this one's for you.
Why do Hershey's Kisses love to perform? Because the crowd just eats them up. Little Hershey's Kisses, big chocolate taste.
The Chevy Venture Warner Brothers edition with a fully integrated entertainment center. You can count on a remarkably quiet ride. Chevy Venture. We'll be there.
Mounds and Almond Joy. because everybody needs a 5-minute vacation.
Tonight's World Cup qualifying match is brought to you by Hershey's Syrup. Want to make your ice cream more exciting? Pour on Hershey's Syrup. By Chevrolet. Chevy will be there. And by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer, this Bud's for you. The United States with a 2-0 lead against Trinidad and Tobago as we get set to roll the ball for the second half. There are 6 teams in this final group of World Cup qualifying. 3 will make it to Korea and Japan for the 2002 World Cup Finals. The U.S. currently 3-0-1 and halfway to a 4th win at this, the halfway point of the nearly year-long 10-game schedule that will produce the 3 teams from this part of the world, North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, who will go on to the World Cup.
Jack, the stakes so high, especially for Trinidad and Tobago here. They need a win desperately. They will try and throw everything at the U.S. goal. But the fact is, World Cup qualifying takes several years. The World Cup itself only held once every 4 years, adding to the meaning of each one of these qualifying matches.
46 minutes. Entering the game is number 6, defender Avery John. Number 5, Reynold Carrington.
Reynold Carrington is out. That is the sub for Avery John. Reynold Carrington. Each team is allowed 3 substitutions in this World Cup qualifier. The U.S. starts the second half with the same 11 who've gone the whole way. And why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There you see Avery John, who is a cousin of Stern John. Ansil Elcock, also a cousin, so it's a family affair. 3 of the 11 players on the field for Trinidad and Tobago directly related. And here's a break for Dwight York. York going with Angus Eve, sends him through. Angus Eve, the shot deflected on a brilliant effort back by Pope. It'll be a corner kick for Trinidad and Tobago, and Eddie Pope letting it all go here.
Well, Jeff Hagus delaying York ever so slightly, but that allowed Eddie Pope to take a good angle. And then when York made the pass to Eve, Pope was able to close it down. And I think Keller had it covered pretty well at that near post.
Montefi's corner into the box. The header and a save by Keller. Don't ever take your foot off a snake because it'll bite you. And right now, Dwight York has the fangs wide open, and he's looking for something to snap at.
Well, to prolong that, TNT, a wounded animal. Only 1 point out of their first 4 games in qualifying.
It's as simple as this for the men in red and black.
Must win.
Score 2 in the next 45 minutes, or don't plan on any World Cup excitement in this 4-year cycle.
But Keller again on that last stop, flawless, no rebound. And there were players out in front looking for anything that might shake loose.
Avery John just into the game to take this throw. Stern John, his cousin, showing to the ball. Avery's header into the box. Pope a push in with York, and York is called for it.
Yeah, York backing into Eddie Pope. But this, you can imagine, Trinidad and Tobago will throw everything, as I said, in this early part of the second half. The United States just needs to survive these next 10-15 minutes.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Haviland. Stern John lays it off. Coming over the top on Trinidad and Tobago. John is whistled for it, and the U.S. will restart. What does the U.S. need to do right here to calm things down, Ty?
I think overall they need to make sure they cut out the supply of balls into Dwight York and into Stern John, and that means making sure that Russell Latapy doesn't get much of the ball. And Angus Eve is starting to create some plays out of his wing midfield position, too. So the United States perhaps a little complacent with this 2-0 lead. And 2-0, very dangerous lead in soccer. It makes you feel pretty good, but 1 goal changes the game.
Latapy with the steal, gives it up ahead for John, looking for York, but there is Pope cutting off the angle and drilling it out past midfield. Razov is onside. Karofsky going toward the arc. Andrews has a look at Razov. Step over move into the box to Karofsky. Gets a piece of it, and it deflects out. And this will be a corner for the United States. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone. Rob.
Well, guys, the U.S. locker room. They were very disappointed in the last 10 minutes of that second half. They termed it sloppy, so they really want to play aggressive these first 15 minutes. Asking about subs, he said, if we get up 3-0, we're going to think about it, especially guys who have accumulated enough caution points that they would miss the next game, Razov and Reyna.
Reyna's in, swinger looking long for Razov over the top, and Ince has it on the fingertips. Fires it out quickly for York.
Jack, lightning in the distance again could affect whether this game is stopped, at least momentarily.
Razov, Reyna, Joe Max Moore, who's currently on the bench, Yamosa, who's currently on the bench, and Friedel, who tonight is playing the backup keeper position, all face a one-game suspension should they pick up another yellow card in this competition, which goes through the end of November.
It pays to have depth in all those positions.
Armas across the middle looking for Reyna. Saunders knocks it free. Stern with Agus going down, and there is Stewart showing a good defensive effort, tracking back on Latapi.
Well, you saw how powerful Stern John can be on the ball as he just muscled Jeff Agus completely off of it.
Regis way up, tries a shot from long out with Ince off his line, couldn't catch it. Ince fires to midfield again. The sky flashing with lightning just over the horizon. There are expected to be big storms here in eastern New England tonight. Here's Razov taking the feed. But again, Andrews is on him, and Razov the foul. Check it, that is Avery John going down underneath Razov's foul.
Jack, what's really good to watch is Razov and Karofsky looking for each other on almost every play, and they're so sharp in their timing and that off-the-ball running that it's what's really tearing open some of those big holes that we've seen in the Trinidad and Tobago defense.
Bruce Arena put them in there because he thought they were sharp. They look pretty sharp. Dwight York, Russell Latapi. Numbers going forward. Trinidad and Tobago has to pull it all out. Stern John knocked down on a good stiff tackle by Agus. He wins the ball. Reyna to Armas. Accelerates, now slows up. There's Reyna going into space. It's Razov. Well off his line. Ince has the ball. This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Huge flash of lightning on the horizon. Latapi steps through the Regis tackle. Reyna trying to grab Latapi. Uh-oh, here comes a yellow card. And Reyna, it looks, is going to miss the game in Mexico City. That is terribly costly to the United States. 52nd minute, yellow card to Reyna. Yellow cards in consecutive games, one in Jamaica and one here.
Oh, we see Trinidad and Tobago. Just a moment ago, Jeff Agus shut down Stern John. This time, Regis beaten on this tackle. And the holding from behind, a professional foul by Claudio Reyna. And it should be a yellow card. He was obviously not attempting to play the ball, a deliberate foul. But a heavy price to pay.
Latapi's drive knocked down in the wall. Armas turns. You see the bandage on the right hand. He's playing with a sprained ligament in the thumb. Karofsky gets knocked down on Lawrence's challenge. Raheem goes around the perimeter. This is Andrews. Looking forward, and there's Agus stepping in front of Stern John again. Reyna tries to turn it up the sideline. More lightning on the horizon. Saunders into the box. Trundolo after it. Andrews going high for the header, and it deflects out. This will be a goal kick to the United States. Claudio Reyna will miss the next match for the United States, which you can see Sunday, July 1st, as ESPN presents exclusive English language coverage in the United States of this game between the U.S. and Mexico. Mexico right now is in 5th place out of 6 teams. A stunning situation with a 1-2-1 record. Plays at Honduras tonight, and then its next home game after its first ever World Cup qualifying home loss will be against the U.S. That game again on the 1st of July at 4 Eastern time on ESPN.
Mexico in absolute shock, losing above 7,000 feet in the air pollution of Mexico City. Never happened. Costa Rica proving the quality of team that they are. And we've seen it against the United States. Costa Rica going in there, coming from behind to win 2-1 in the Azteca.
Yes, anyone who thinks that a one-goal lead in soccer is insurmountable is obviously ignorant, because Mexico scored first, led at halftime, at home, in a place it had never lost in that situation in a World Cup qualifier. Gave up 2 late goals to Costa Rica and lost. A near constant flashing of lightning to our north, which could be a good sign. The cell might miss us to the north. Avery John trying to go up the line, and again there's Cherundolo. Knocks it out off the TNT challenge of York, and we've got Arnold Tuarica coming into the game for Brent Rahim. Tuarica, a 28-year-old club teammate of Rahim at Joe Public. Tuarica is a big offensive force. In 12 World Cup qualifiers, including preliminary rounds, he has 6 goals.
Arnold Tuarica is a speedster as well. We watched him in training last night. Very quick with the ball at his feet. Knows how to get past defenders in a hurry.
Reggie working against Angassi. Armas. Montaby beginning to track him back, but Armas accelerates into the space. Little 1-2 with Razov. Flag is up. Karofsky was offside.
But Karofsky was not involved in that play yet. He was flagged down. Because if Armas blasts it into the upper corner, it should count as a goal, since Armas was not in the offside position.
Elcock drilling it forward for Dwight. York bangs against Agus and is called. Agus is called for the foul. Excuse me. Looks as if it's a fireworks show in the sky. The wind has shifted. It was blowing from our right to our left. It now has reversed direction. It's on the U.S.'s backs. Blowing left to right now as we play in the 56th minute. This portion of the match is brought to you by Phillips. See a 6'7" Dennis Lawrence in the pile. Going up for the header against Sané. It curls out, and that'll be a corner for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Tony Sané can now say he won a head ball off of a 6'7" opponent.
Latifi on the placement here. Comes all the way over the top of Stern John. Agus will come across to the right side of the field and play it up for Karofsky. Karofsky coming back to the ball, and it comes off of Avery John, so it's a U.S. throw-in.
Good work by Karofsky to give Jeff Agus that outlet. Agus didn't have a whole lot of time. And not only did Karofsky hold his position, he controlled the ball long enough to force a throw-in for the U.S.
Stewart back to Cherundolo. Trying to chip ahead for Karofsky, who lost his footing against Ansil Elcock. Clayton Ince will put it back in play. He'll go short possession to Avery John. He gives it up to Cherundolo after the immediate pressure from Karofsky. Now here's Reyna against the grain of Karofsky, a little too hot to handle. Avery John will track it down with Sané in his face. It's off Sané, deflecting toward Reyna. Tries to step through the tackle. Good move by Tuarica. Now slides hard through Stewart. The ball comes back to Pope. Now Cherundolo and Stewart. Square for Armas. Up the line looking for Cherundolo. Stewart. Agus alone in the center circle. Now pressure from York. Long ball left side. Drifts out over Sané. Agus distributing extremely well. Better and better as the years go on out of the back. And as ever, solid defensively.
Armas winning that head ball. One of the shorter players on the field.
Andrews goes right into traffic, and Armas takes it off him. Sané, long for Razov. Can't get it over the Trinidad and Tobago players coming back. Ince fires it 70 yards downfield.
A Brad Friedel-like toss.
Against the wind, no less. Dwight York bringing it across the field. Tuarica. The man going corner, Avery John. Into the box for Stern John. He handles the ball, and the U.S. will have the restart. Jeff Agus did it in the second minute, and he has continued to look long successfully for the U.S.
Well,
tonight.
and Jack, unselfish running by Jovan Karofsky. Agus is coming to this ball. He doesn't have many options. There's a lot of space up in here, and Karofsky makes the extra effort to get over there, hold some of that space, hold off a defender, and win a throw-in for the United States. If Agus doesn't have that option, he gives the ball away, and it's another attack for Trinidad and Tobago.
Reggie. The U.S. has calmed things down after Trinidad and Tobago came out all kinds of fired up in this second half. The U.S. is almost through the first 15 minutes of the second half. Chirundolo with Tuarica right in his face, goes long up the line. That's too far ahead. Lawrence heading it out of bounds, but Chirundolo's long ball produces a 40-yard gain up the sideline for the throw.
If your front runners and your wide players work, it takes the pressure off of your back line. Your back line has put in a lot of energy into winning a ball, a loose ball, or winning a tackle or whatever. They need help now. They need an oxygen break. They can find an open player with that unselfish running that we just showed. It makes their life a lot easier. They get the oxygen break. They're better prepared to stop that next attack by the opponent.
Latapi lets it run for Tuarica. Sane closing ground on him. Tuarica goes straight ahead for York. Back intended for Tuarica, but Razov takes it. Stewart rescues him with the high header. Back to Razov. Lawrence comes through high and hard to knock the ball out of bounds. This portion of the match is brought to you by Nike. Chirundolo past Razov. Karofsky. Andrews has lost a shoe. It's the right shoe. He's trying to step back into it as the U.S. attacks, and he has it back on, but he's still scuffing with it. Now heads the ball up. York takes it down. Agus right on him. Runs past the ball, tries to recover. The referee's assistant had the flag up, and the referee also right on the play, and the foul on Dwight York. Jeff Agus holding his own against one of Manchester United's and Trinidad and Tobago's. Ball into the box looking for Razov, and Ince fires it out. Latapi. Tuarica against Chirundolo. Sane there immediately in support. Ty, the U.S. gets back in such good numbers. And there's Armas. Again, two men on the ball. Hope was deeper, and Armas cleaning it up.
Well, Armas is like two men himself because he covers so much ground.
Reyna has Reggie overlapping on the left side and gives it to him in a ton of space. Hard diagonal run toward the ball by Karofsky. Now Reyna the shorter option, and Stewart in support. The U.S. players work so hard for one another to go into this space to provide a passing option.
Well, that's why they've been able to keep the ball so well through midfield. This is about 6 consecutive passes right now.
Karofsky elects to change it all the way over to the right side. Sane chesting the ball down. Stewart. Armas. Tuarica on the steal. Latapi looping long left side. And Sane will settle. Needs an option with York on his back. Chips it up to Chirundolo. Cheeky stuff, and it works. Chirundolo going cross field. Andrews takes it off the chest. Check it, it's Angus Eve. They'll play it back for Ince.
Trinidad and Tobago showed a lot of energy in the opening moments of this second half, as they did in the closing moments of that first half. If you can see it right now, bogging down just a little bit, especially because the United States maintains possession. That's a demoralizing factor for Trinidad and Tobago. They can't get their foot on the ball.
Karofsky coming back to the ball. Now Armas. Stewart showing in the middle of the field and gets the ball. Off for Reyna. Stewart runs left side. Shorter for Razov. Too hot for Karofsky to handle. And Lawrence uncorks a moonshot. Stern John battling against Agus. Agus gets the best of it again. And Eddie Pope settles for Steve Chirundolo. Draws it back away from York. Pope and Chirundolo. Good control in close quarters by the U.S. Deflection out of bounds. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Guys, Bruce Arena's always complained that this is a very quiet U.S. team, that they don't speak that much, and he's really working on Eddie Pope right now. Tell him to be a little more vocal. Obviously, possession is a key thing right now. Bruce screaming at them, hold the ball, hold the ball. Too many balls, they're trying to play over the top. Also, just overheard him say, We already have one guy out with the yellow card, being Claudio Reyna. We can't afford another. That would mean Ante Razov probably coming out. Joe Max Moore possibly coming in soon.
Stewart puts Sane on the left side across the middle. Scores! Flag is up. Flag is up. No goal.
Yeah, I think Razov may have snuck in just a little too early at the back post. Again, fantastic approach play by the USA. Nice little ball out to the left side. Now watch Razov's run. Yeah, he's just a shade behind the defender right when that ball was played. Ooh, just a shade, like a foot offside.
Boy, you know, because we're looking from the 18. That's where our camera is anchored. And, of course, that ball was about 4 yards off the end line. And if the ball is forward or even with you, then, of course, you are onside. That's a very, very close call. But the referee's assistant was looking straight across the field at it. That's his job. Pope holding off Stern John in the arc. Chirundolo half volleys to midfield. Karofsky knocks it down, comes back to it. Andrews has to chase. This portion of the match is brought to you by Jolly Rancher. Saunders.
Jack, this is a Trinidad and Tobago team that has been racked with turmoil and controversy, and you wonder whether they really have it in them to mount a significant comeback here. Now, they did score 2 goals late in that 4-2 loss to Honduras. In fact, Latipi scored only 4 minutes after entering the game. Stern John in the 90th minute to get the second goal.
Tuarica with a quick move, but he runs out of room laterally and takes it right out of bounds.
We're going to look at a freeze frame of the last offside call on Ante Razov. And here's the one issue here that we haven't covered. If Razov's even with the ball as opposed to ahead of the ball, he's not in an offside position. He's certainly behind the last defender when the ball is played. So very close call. The one that did negate the goal as Razov was behind the last defender. He may not have been ahead of the ball.
Stern John dives in the box and gets a yellow card here in the 66th minute.
Well, one way of creating a goal or a goal-scoring chance is to get a call in the box. And Stern John, good little ball in tight from Russell Latipi. This would have been just outside the box. There's a little bit of contact from Eddie Pope, but certainly not enough to bring Stern John down that quickly. He's a little stronger than that.
If you're just joining the party, welcome to Foxborough Stadium. Alongside Ty Keogh with Rob Stone down at field level, I'm Jack Edwards. This is the final round of World Cup qualifying. The United States in white, Trinidad and Tobago in the red and black. The United States undefeated, 3 wins, no losses, and a tie. 7 shutouts in its last 8 World Cup qualifiers. Got a goal in the 2nd minute from Ante Razov on his first touch of the game on a 50-yard pass from Jeff Agus. Ernie Stewart with a steal and a goal in the 20th minute, and the U.S. is up 2-0 on TNT as we play in the second half now. York on the far side. Agus picks his pocket. Ball back to Latipi. Saunders. Avery John. Into the box. Chirundolo heading it clear. Saunders knocking it down for Latipi with Reyna right on him. If you're just joining us, Claudio Reyna picked up a yellow card in this match. That's 2 in this final round of qualifying, and it appears that he will miss the U.S.-Mexico game, which you can see on ESPN on the 1st of July at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Saunders playing it straight ahead for Stern John, and again Eddie Pope on his wife's due date knocks it away. Play on, says the referee, Ali Bushayin. Tuarica. Stern John is a full stride offside. A program reminder, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Luis Hernandez and the Galaxy host the Metro Stars. And then the doubleheader game, ESPN2, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Columbus Crew in the Cotton Bowl against the Dallas Burn. It's another MLS Soccer Saturday on ESPN and ESPN2. We hope you'll join us for it. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate. Claudio Reyna accelerating, ships for Stewart. Bouncing pass, tried to thread the needle. Reina wins it back to Cherundolo. Now Razov tees it up on the left foot. Can't curl it into the box. Avery John heading it clear. Regis, who was pushed way up from his left back position, taking on Ansil. Elcock, speed move. Elcock holds him up. That's going to be a free kick for the U.S. out by the corner of the box.
A little bit of flair from your left back. It's always fun to see. And left-footed players seem to have more deception to their moves. Brings the ball down nicely. Watch this little scissors move, double touch, and a good acceleration. Probably should have been a yellow card because that is a deliberate foul.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence on the ball. Wouldn't you say, Jack?
1v1. Regis likes to have a little space out in front of him with the defender to beat.
Agus' serve hard into the box through Regis, deflects to Ince, and he makes the stop. Karofsky has been a total of 4 feet away from 3 goals tonight.
He didn't see that one till too late. But his off-the-ball running, I think, has shown that he knows how to play at this level and can make an impact.
And offside on the punt. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Well, guys, Joe Max Moore is at the table. He will be coming in for Ante Razov. Razov has a little left hamstring injury, but more importantly, it's because he has the cautionary points, and he would miss the next game. But Bruce Arena told us last night that Joe Max Moore, he really likes him coming off the bench, and in the end, he feels he'd be more productive for the States coming off the pine rather than starting.
Joe Max Moore, thank you, Rob. The #2 scorer of all time for the United States, behind only Eric Ronaldo. And here's the hand for Razov.
Jack, that's also a hand for Joe Max Moore, who played here for the New England Revolution and scored some spectacular goals here for the Reds.
Moore, by the way, also is carrying a yellow card, so he has to stay under control. Cherundolo chests it to Moore. Sane. Moore going right to the arc. Sane trying to drill it through traffic. Andrews heading it down. Agassi turns it back. York. That's where the U.S. wants to see him. Back near the defensive third.
Jack, when we talked about the turmoil and controversy in this team, Dwight York, a part of that. He didn't show up for one of the exhibition games, a tune-up game for these last couple of games of World Cup qualifying, and he was dropped from the team. And then there was a revolt within the team by some of the more experienced players saying, wait, without Dwight York, we won't play either. So York was reinstated, and also
Karofsky offside here.
Russell Latipi involved in that. He was going to be dropped. He did not start in the last game. There's Dwight York, and he has not contributed what you'd expect from a player of his stature. In fact, all the reports of the game against Honduras in Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday was that Dwight York looked slow and ineffective.
Ince. Lawrence. Driving it forward. It's Agus knocking the ball down for Armas. Agus. Reina. Sane. First touch play. The last one didn't quite connect with Karofsky. Ince with Stewart in his face. Andrews. Lawrence, a bad ball. Regis takes it. Reina. Moore. Cherundolo. Good build-up by the U.S. here. Cherundolo takes the space, goes right into the box. A speed move, and Andrews turns and fires it out over the sideline. Avery John calling out marking assignments. Trinidad and Tobago in a desperate situation here, going against a team that in its last 8+ World Cup qualifiers has given up 1 goal, and it needs 2. Joe Max Moore, the challenge on the near post against the 6'7" Dennis Lawrence, and Lawrence heads it out for a U.S. corner. Agus taking his time. No reason to hurry here. Stewart showing to the ball, the short corner. Agus all the way across. Regis has a track on it. Takes a hard bounce off the turf. That's down in the stage end where the rock concert was. only 3 days ago. This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet.
Stern John, a veteran of Major League Soccer with the Columbus Crew, and Mickey Troutman, also a player who played in Major League Soccer with the Dallas Burn a couple of years ago. Currently the Rochester Rhinos of the A-League.
So Stern John out, Mickey Troutman in. Times are desperate for Trinidad and Tobago, which has used its third and last substitution. Stewart, Joe Max Moore, comes back to Stewart, Sane, Agus, up the line, Karofsky checks to see that he's onside, and he is. Joe Max Moore going into the middle. Sane now at the arc. Lawrence clears the cross. Armas knocks the ball down. York has dropped back a little bit into a midfield position. Here's Lawrence pushing up. It's a fire drill right now for Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody's got to go up. It's a full-scale emergency. They are trying to save their World Cup lives. Nothing less than a win and 3 points on the road will do here. In a venue in which the United States never has lost. And not just the United States men. The women never have lost a full international here in Foxborough. Breakaway for Lanape. Keller off his line.
Awesome anticipation by Casey Keller. So much experience to draw on.
And from his own 18, it bounces 1 yard outside the other 18.
Keller alertly straight off of his line.
That ball, if he doesn't react instantly, if he doesn't make that decision, the moment that ball is struck, he does not win the race and beat Russell Lanape to the ball.
The worst thing, as Jorge Campos now knows, is to get stuck in the middle. More going on, but Ince has the catch on the chest.
Hesitation is fatal for a goalkeeper. Getting caught in no man's land, and Keller made no hesitation and no mistake. His decisions have been incredible the last couple of games.
The United States is working on quite a home unbeaten streak in World Cup qualifying matches. It currently stands at 18 straight games, 13 wins, and 5 ties over that 18.
The last loss in 1985, which kept them out of the 86 World Cup in Mexico.
Elcock all the way forward. Knocks it off of Reyna. It's a corner kick coming for Trinidad and Tobago. The United States may be leading the changing of the guard. Could this be the time that the United States becomes the dominant soccer power, or at least predominant soccer power in this region, with Mexico having an off year? Regis heads it clear. Chirundolo just bangs the ball to space. Saunders back to Avery John. Major League Soccer has made the U.S. national team so much stronger.
Further down here.
The European players have gotten better and better. DeMarcus Beasley scores 2 goals at the Under-20 World Championships today, and is certain to draw a tremendous amount of European interest while he continues to star for the Chicago Fire for a long, long time. Going all the way back to the days when Harry Keogh, your dad, Ty, was playing on that team in 1950 that upset England, and people were just shocked and could not believe that the score was right in the newspapers. The United States is beginning to win worldwide respect, and it starts at home in your own region, defending your own turf in World Cup qualifiers.
Jack, the depth
that the U.S. possesses is unprecedented, and it's
no better illustrated than by the attacking players that we've talked about. Joe Max Moore started this game on the bench with Brian McBride. Karofsky and Razov started up front, and then you've got the injured Mathis.
Stewart for Sane, and he guns it over the top.
The injured Mathis, the injured Josh Wolf, and then with the under-20s, Landon Donovan, DeMarcus Beasley, as you mentioned, and Connor Casey's not a bad forward either.
Guarica brings it square. Trinidad and Tobago can get right back in this game with a strike past Keller. But it's that kind of pursuit by Joe Max Moore in the middle third of the field that has thwarted Trinidad and Tobago. Joe Max Moore, of course, coming into this game for Razov in the second half. But the U.S. with conscientious defensive work all night in all three thirds.
Casey Keller has made 2 huge saves in this game.
Another nice ball up the line. Reggie not quite able to run on to Agus's feed.
Keller's save in the closing moments of the first half of play, and this last reaction, this anticipation by Keller off of his line to snuff out what would have been a breakaway. Those are the kind of performances that we know Casey Keller provides game after game for the United States, and it changes the game.
Latifi drops it down. Avery John on an overlap run from his back position going toward the corner for Latifi. There's Pope to let the ball run out. This portion of the match is brought to you by Tinactin. Now, Ty, as we look forward to the Mexican game on the 1st of July, a game you can see on ESPN at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Claudio Reyna, second yellow card in this tournament, or in this stage of the tournament, out for that game. Who plays that position? Because Mathis is down.
The way it looks right now, it would be John O'Brien. Very versatile player, good possession player. A guy who has been with Ajax of Amsterdam since he was a 15-year-old, coming up through their youth system.
Karofsky has a chance, deflected by Andrews. Corner kick coming to the United States. Joe Max Moore exhorting his buddies, knocking some of those bangers out of the way.
Well, Joe Max Moore also could move in to your midfield in the absence of a Claudio Reyna. There's that option as well.
Moore has many options here. Can't make any of them connect. Latifi. York on the side against Reyna. Elcock overlapping. Saunders in the middle of the field. Torrica has a little bit of space. Trundle closes it up, tries a through ball, but no one's there except Pope. Latifi can't control it, rolls out of bounds. We're in the 81st minute in Foxborough. 6 teams in this final round of World Cup qualifying. The U.S. is in first place going into tonight's games. Costa Rica in second, just 3 points behind, and plays Jamaica in Costa Rica tonight, so you would have to think that Costa Rica would be heavily favored in that game. The only way for the U.S. to control its own fate is to knock down another 3 points here. It is doing just that.
It's such a different experience for the United States in qualifying for 2002 compared to qualifying for 98 and compared to qualifying for 90. Remember, 94 as the host, they did not have to go through qualifying, but it was at the depth that they made it through in 89 in a victory in Port of Spain at Trinidad and Tobago.
Paul Caligiuri with the goal.
The shot heard around the world to put the USA in a World Cup for the first time in 40 years against Trinidad and Tobago.
Joe Max Moore pulling the ball back. Stewart, Moore. Final 10 minutes here. Trundle goes up to keep it down. Lawrence screens him off. Quickly looks for a man. York. Lawrence. The attendance at Foxborough tonight, 31,211. A midweek game. Always a vocal and partisan crowd in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Saunders trying to thread the needle for Elcock. It doesn't work. Let's take a look at the Allstate save of the day. Casey Keller might have changed this game back in the first half.
Well, there's no question. Trinidad and Tobago had seized some momentum, looking to get back in this game. Almost cut the lead in half. Look at Keller extend with his right hand. And this ball is screened out in front by Eddie Pope. Casey Keller with the Allstate save of the day. And that's what you want your goalkeeper to do. Change the game for you by keeping the blank slate.
And once again, we bring up what Bruce Arena called a coach's dream and a player's nightmare. Great goaltending. The 1-2 punch. Bruce Arena's guys on a long shutout streak. Will he go with Friedel? Will he stay with the hot hand in Keller come the 1st of July in Mexico City? Torrica was offside. The flag went up way late, but he was offside when the ball was played. Keller cranks it 65 yards downfield. Karofsky still hustling. It comes out a U.S. corner. U.S. looking for the finisher here to put this thing completely out of reach. Karofsky's corner. Andrews heads it down. Agus tries to juggle it around, but could not. And York controls. Tuarica. This portion of the match brought to you by Haviland. Tuarica, good close control. Goes straight ahead for Stern John, and there is Eddie Pope to Sonic. Joe Max Moore. Big collision against Lawrence. They both go down. Moore gets up limping on the right foot. Sonic. Armas. Stewart pops it up away from Saunders. Armas. Karofsky. Big lightning on the horizon. Regis draws it back against Trotman. Karofsky off to Armas. Chips into the box for Joe Max Moore. Drops it off. Stewart to Sonic. Bad angle. Chips it into the middle. Karofsky goes for the volley against Lawrence, who takes it in the chest. That man is a monster. 6'7". That would have hit most men in the head.
And Karofsky left his feet, got pretty high even to get to that ball.
This portion of the match is being brought to you by Avaya Communication. Avery John. York, who was the last man back except for the keeper there. Dwight York systematically has been taken out of this game. And full marks go to the central defenders, Eddie Pope and Jeff Agus for the United States. For taking the ever-dangerous Trinidad and Tobago forward and nullifying his efforts, at least through the first 86 minutes. Too high. Pope can't climb that last rung of the ladder, and here's Keller. Lotopy keeps him honest. Shrundalo. Sonic. Armas, always a man in support. It's Agus here.
Intelligent possession play. You hear the Olays coming from the faithful here at Foxborough.
Armas not a clean tuck. Angus Eve with the challenge. Armas fouls him 45 yards from goal. TNT puts it quickly back into play. York. John. Agus heads it down and out. Shrundalo forward for Joe Max Moore with a man right on his back. Joe Max Moore gets fouled. Ansil Elcock on the foul.
Joe Max Moore still visibly limping from a previous challenge.
Keller sending his men forward. He'll take this 15 yards shy of midfield. Looking for Karofsky. Could the keeper get an assist here?
He thinks he's Chilavert.
Karofsky to Stewart. The outside of the foot shot. Andrews blocks it down. York, who had come all the way back into the defensive third for the ball. Swinging it across for Trotman. Trotman and Lotopy. It's Lotopy on the sideline. Into the box, looking for Tuarica. Agus has it one more time. Outstanding game for Jeff Agus tonight. Regis has Karofsky. Joe Max Moore on the near side. Now makes his break. Scissor move with Stewart on an opposite run. Karofsky lets it rip. Just wide. It hit the backstay on the outside of the goal in the 88th minute.
Well, Karofsky showing several qualities here that you have to like in an attacker. Some good moves, change of pace, and some strength. He takes a bump just before he takes this shot. And
then he gets his whole body behind that ball, sending a dipping
shot just inches wide.
John O'Brien is into the game for the limping Joe Max Moore. Full effort from Moore in his short minutes, but he got a ding here.
Yeah, he was moving well until this collision here, taking most of the impact, looked like on the outside of the right ankle. After that, he had a tough time putting his weight fully onto that right leg.
Avery John going up the line for Tuarica. Pope over the top. A throw into Trinidad and Tobago. York into the middle. Saunders. We get a report from the sideline from Rob Stone, and it is a twisted ankle for Joe Max Moore. Stoppage here as we enter the 90th minute. Jeff Agus is the Chevrolet man of the match. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the U.S. Soccer Foundation in Jeff Agus' name.
More effective, intelligent defending, good distribution out of the back. Jeff Agus defensively with the help of Eddie Pope. Closing down Stern John, one of the top scorers all time in Major League Soccer. Also stopping Dwight York, one of the great scorers in English soccer.
And then setting up the first goal of the game, Ansil Razov with a long ball out of the back. So
what critical timing. Only the second minute of play, and Agus' vision picking out Razov's run to set the USA off on the right foot.
Desperation setting in. Lottery chipping forward, looking for Ansil Elcock. There's Keller off the line, bobbles the ball, and now dives on it near the top of the box. According to the officials and word we get from the sideline, it looks as if there is going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time. Sam's Army, very strong here in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
So Sam's Army here in the end zone to our left side, cranking it up as the USA keep themselves in the driver's seat in World Cup qualifying.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has indicated that it's 4 minutes.
The U.S. is playing its 5th game in the final round of World Cup qualifying. It has given up 1 goal, and that was a laser beam.
Well, not only that, in their last 4 games of the first round of qualifying, they gave up no goals.
So it's been a consistency. Jeff Agus has been a huge part of it.
Carlos Llamosa has been an awesome contributor to all those shutouts. But Chris Armas coming back to help, Ernie Stewart coming back to help, Tony Sonic, Claudio Reyna, they all get credit.
Keller and Friedel have been okay, too.
Chirundelo's done his job down the right side.
Here they are, more than 30,000 strong, and they have been yelling since before this game began.
Elvis is here.
Haven't seen him for a few years. One hopper to Keller off the Angus Eve corner. It isn't over yet. Agus. Reggie. Karofsky. O'Brien showing. Reggie. Brings it back to Keller, who will have to play with the feet. By trap and then volleys it to midfield. O'Brien. Stewart climbs the ladder. Avery John. About halfway through 4 minutes of stoppage time. The next big event is going to happen on September 1st at RFK Stadium. The U.S. has another home game in World Cup qualifying. That one against Honduras. If you have a chance to join the throng, get on the bandwagon before it becomes all too fashionable.
September 1st at RFK. But the big challenge for the United States now, July 1st at Mexico City. And Mexico, so difficult to beat at home. Costa Rica did it. But it's a real challenge now for the United States because Mexico needs those home points.
U.S. just holding the ball in midfield, and the crowd nearly delirious here as the final few seconds begin to tick off. Tuarica has a break. Agus trying to cut the angle on him. Drives it off of Agus' knees. York against Armas. A little bit of space. York shot. Pope blocks it down. York gets a 3rd chance. Across the top of the box, Elcock tries to give and go. York. Armas again closing down the space. Stewart coming back to help out defensively. Tuarica tries to spin Sane, double teams along with Chirundelo. Avery John against Chirundelo. Chirundelo appears to say, bring it on. A low grounder and an easy stop for Keller about a half a minute to go.
The United States playing only with Karofsky up, although now Stewart sneaking out of midfield.
Here is a late chance. O'Brien wide open on the far side, and Stewart tries to hit it. O'Brien takes it down across the middle for Karofsky, and Andrews has to nearly commit suicide, heading it out over the top of his own goal. Just a matter of seconds to go. Not sure the U.S. even will get the corner off.
A brilliant ball by Ernie Stewart to pick out the run of John O'Brien on the far side. Stewart strikes the ball so purely with his size 6 shoes. Look at the first touch by John O'Brien.
And just inches from clearing Andrews, the defender out front.
Karofsky. In fact, Karofsky applauded O'Brien's effort to get the ball into him.
Lawrence heads it out. The United States is 4-0-1. Still in first place. And very, very close now to clinching a spot in the World Cup of 2002. The 5th shutout for Casey Keller in the semifinal and this final round of qualifying. Now remember, Costa Rica plays Jamaica tonight. Honduras plays Mexico tonight, so both of those teams are capable of picking up an additional 3 points. However, the U.S. has taken care of business. 13 points, and for the moment at least 6 points clear, and assured of being at least 3 points clear of its closest rival. We will be back to Foxborough Stadium to wrap this one up. The United States, a 2-0 win over Trinidad and Tobago. Come back with us.
Look at Hyundai's summer sell-down. You'll see a great price on the Hyundai Accent, the best-selling car in its class. Look at the surprising list of features, all standards. All to test drive the Accent now, before this bestseller is sold out.
Test drive a Hyundai at Dennis Hyundai, Reichert Hyundai, and Hatfield Hyundai today.
Boys, what y'all doing?
Just out here checking these old fences.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, is that $1?
Yeah, it's on my side of the fence.
Wrong. That's on my side.
No, that's on my side.
It is on my side.
Guys, it's just $1. Oh, yeah, with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents.
20 minutes for 99 cents?
And to 7 cents a minute after 20.
Wow, that's cheap.
Guess he had to make a phone call. Call me.
Dial 10, 10, 220.
Jeff Vegas with the ceremonial exchange of jerseys. Man of the match tonight.
Jack, I was concerned that some complacency might creep into the U.S. team because things have been going so well for them.
But you know what? Casey Keller, Jeff Vegas would not allow it.
And then bringing Karofsky and Razov into the attack certainly made a difference.
2000 World's Strongest Man coming up next on ESPN2. The U.S. plays Mexico. You can see it at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 Pacific, Sunday, the 1st of July, an exclusive English language presentation by ESPN in the United States. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Ty Keogh, Rob Stone, and our ESPN2 crew, I'm Jack Edwards. The United States still undefeated, 4-0-1, leading from wire to wire, and still atop the group.